This week on Great British Menu, 3 of Northern Ireland's leading culinary talents. Third-time competitor, Chris McGowan.
We're here to test ourselves. I want to try and get to the banquet, you know.
Daniel Clifford's head chef, Mark Abbott.
If I'm not busy, I don't feel I'm pushing myself hard enough.
And Eddie Atwell, for whom local produce is king.
I've felt the heat in here all week, but what can I do? Just going to keep at it.
In the year of the Queen's 90th birthday, the chefs are celebrating the everyday Great Britain's honoured throughout her reign and competing for a chance to cook at an historic banquet at the Palace of Westminster. Chris's main course stole the show yesterday, earning him 10 from veteran Michael.
I thought that was an exceptional plate of food.
Mark scored 9, just in front of Eddie, who was awarded 8.
No one's dead in the war yet.
No.
With just 3 points between Chris and Eddie, both chefs have a chance to face the judges.
Dessert has always been the potential banana skin in this kitchen.
To say I'm nervous is an understatement.
But one chef will be going home today.
No regrets, you can do this, huh?
Listen, in it to win it.
So it's going to split.
Guess what I've just done as well? Split my cream and all.
Judging their desserts for imaginative and outstanding cooking is Michelin-starred Michael O'Hare. A former banquet winner, he knows what it takes to get there.
It's got to be fun, it's got to be creative, and it's got to be innovative. I'm looking for the showstopper and the banquet-winning dish for desserts.
I've been here before, and anything can happen, guys. The heat in that kitchen isn't your friend.
Last chance saloon for me anyway, guys, isn't it? This is our last one to get up and try and get into the race there.
Well, I'm doing some sugar work this week, and I know.
Mark, you should have given me a ring, mate. I did the same last year, and then I got in that kitchen, and it all went pear-shaped.
First is Chris. Having failed to impress with his starter, he's fought back with his last 2 dishes. He knows from previous experience, this can be the trickiest course.
Dessert has very little margin for error. You've got to really nail it. Eddie could just pull it out of the bag, and I could have a disaster one, and I could be going home.
Chris, hello.
Good.
How you feeling?
Yeah, great. I'm still kind of on cloud 9 from the main course, I have to say.
On your last course, dessert?
Yes.
What's the title?
It's A Sense of Occasion. This is about a lady called Dr. Janet Gray. Dr. Janet Gray is blind, but she's a world water ski champion.
All right, OK.
Yeah, she took up water skiing after she lost her sight.
Right.
So it kind of gives you an indication of the kind of lady that she is.
So a true Great Britain, then?
Yes, and when I went to her house, there was a lot of fresh flowers around, and she said, I don't see them, but I can smell them, Chris, and it makes me feel great. So for me, it was trying to marry the dessert, but also try and give a sensory experience.
What are you actually cooking now?
Got some fresh lavender there. I'm going to infuse in cream and make a nice cream. I'm going to do a white chocolate sphere. I'm going to colour the white chocolate with the Union flag, and then fill that with the lavender ice cream, some lemon curd, some raspberries, savoury granola.
OK.
That will go in a box with an infusion, with lemon, with lavender, and pour over the dry ice with some floral notes.
OK, well, I look forward to tasting it. Yeah. He's tempering white chocolate, which is difficult at the best of times, but he's doing it in a notoriously hot kitchen. And if it doesn't work, it could be a disaster.
Next is Eddie. After a strong start to the week, Eddie slipped to 3rd place after the main course, 3 points behind Chris. He needs to nail his dessert to secure a place cooking for the judges.
I need a high score to keep myself in any sort of race for tomorrow. Fortunately, so far, nothing's went terribly wrong, but you don't know what's ahead of you, what could go wrong. Let's just see what happens.
Eddie.
Hey, Chef.
How you feeling?
Yeah, fantastic.
The title of your dish?
So it's jam sandwich and Darjeeling tea.
OK, and the inspiration?
Inspiration, it was a treat that was enjoyed in the palace, more behind the scenes. So it was a crustless jam sandwich. And so I just want to try and make it something special and fit for a banquet.
OK, so what are you actually cooking?
Bottom base of the sandwich, essentially. I'm going to make like a white bread parfait, the white chocolate through it as well. I'll be making a strawberry stock from the strawberries with a couple of spices through it to make a jelly, setting some of the strawberries inside. On the top layer, I want to make a traditional shortcake, and then it's the marge of Darjeeling. It's the kind of tea you have with it. It's floral, it's fragrant. So I want to try and transfer that flavour on, and then eat a pot of tea with it as well, so we get that hot and cold element, hopefully, as well.
It certainly sounds interesting, Eddie. You know you're behind in the scores. Focus on this. You can still get through that.
Absolutely.
Eddie's dish is quite simple in flavours. There's quite a lot of technical elements in it. I really hope he can execute it well, and I hope he can get a good dish out for dessert.
Finally, it's Mark. Having topped the leaderboard all week with 2 perfect 10s, he dropped a point for the first time yesterday, scoring only 9.
On the main course, Michael marked me down a point because he didn't feel the brief showed through. For me, the dessert tells a story, so it's up to me now to get it right and deliver the product I want them to have.
Mark, hi there.
Hi, Chef.
What's the title of your dish?
Time to reflect.
What's the inspiration behind it?
Well, I've had the privilege to work in all 4 countries of the UK, and through that, I've seen some amazing produce and techniques, and I want to wrap it all together in one fantastic dessert.
And what are you actually cooking on that dessert?
I'm cooking a number of different berry elements. I'm compressing some strawberries in some English sparkling wine.
Okay.
With the English sparkling wine, I'm going to be making a jelly. The raspberries, I'm putting them in liquid nitrogen and then smash them up.
Okay.
With the blueberries, I'm going to cook a little compote. With the blackberries, I'm going to make a pickling liquor. I'm going to make a buttery sponge and then soak that in the blackberry pickle liquor.
Right, okay. And I see chocolate.
So I'm going to make a chocolate marquise and I'm going to put some blackberry notes through that as well.
Right, okay.
And I'm going to make a sugar twirl for the dessert also.
So, no added pressure, Mark. But if you can score an 8 or higher in this dish, you'll be the highest ever regional competitor in Great British Menu history, beating your boss, Daniel Clifford, by 1 point. So see if it's worth your job.
Thank you for that, Chef.
Mark, with his dessert, has so much going on, so many ingredients and so many techniques. But with every other course, I've seen a centrepiece to Mark's work. With dessert, I'm really struggling to visualise that.
Cooking starts, and the chefs are already discussing possible pudding pitfalls.
Dessert has always been the potential banana skin in this kitchen. You've got to be on it, you know?
I've felt the heat in here all week, so if you're going to feel it in your chocolate, feel it in your sugar, that's where it's going to hit hard on it, really.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Third place Eddie has to produce the perfect dessert to stand a chance of beating Chris to cook for the judges. He's hoping his high-end take on tea and a jam sandwich will do the trick.
So would you class your dessert today quite simple, Eddie?
The name, it's simple. But hopefully the textures and layers to it, it's going to make it a wee bit different.
Eddie makes a strawberry stock for his gel by simmering strawberries with port and wine and flavouring with vanilla and black pepper. To make his white chocolate and white bread parfait, he adds warmed milk and cream to whisked egg yolk and sugar, before adding white chocolate melted with gelatin and white breadcrumbs. But already, the heat in the kitchen is taking its toll.
It's going to split. She is split, sir. I'll put it in the bin. No point crying about it. It's the heat.
With time already against him, Eddie starts his parfait again.
Eddie,
Chef.
you're boiling over.
Oh, wait. Oh, it's good. Shut off there as well.
How are you getting on?
Just split my mousse out, so I'm a wee bit behind. Standing here talking to you now, I should really be in that freezer, but I just need to keep my head down here, Chef.
Yeah? Well, look, you've got the time, yeah? You can do it?
Absolutely. Thank you, Chef.
Good on you.
Eddie pipes the parfait into moulds and leaves to set. Someone else feeling the heat is Mark. Having had a strong competition so far, his complex dessert is his biggest challenge yet.
Pastry, it doesn't wait on any man, does it?
Not at all.
To say I'm nervous is an understatement.
Mark starts work on a sponge, which he'll dip in blackberry pickling liquor and partially dehydrate later. For his chocolate and blackberry marquise, Mark pours boiling honey onto whipped egg whites to make an Italian meringue. He dissolves gelatin in boiling pear juice and adds to the meringue mixture before pouring in molten dark chocolate.
Guess what I've just done as well? Split my cream and all. Yeah. I need to just calm down now, collect myself, and just get it right.
Mark whips a second batch of cream, which he folds into the marquise mixture and flavours with blackberry.
So, Mark, you have problems with your cream over there?
Yeah.
Same aware, like.
Final course, those really simple things that can go wrong. Don't say, I told you so, but I told you so.
3 points ahead of Eddie, Chris must execute a flawless dessert. He's incorporating floral notes into his dish, including lavender ice cream. To egg yolk whisked with lavender sugar, Chris adds a warmed cream and milk mixture flavoured with lavender essence, before cooling and churning in an ice cream machine. He's also put extra pressure on himself by choosing to make spheres of tempered white chocolate.
Will I be right in saying out of the 3 chocolates, that's the hardest to temper?
Yeah. At the end of the day, we're here to test ourselves. That's what I want to do. I want to try and get to the banquet, you know? When you think about Great Britain, you think about what people have done. They go above and beyond, you know what I mean? And I'm quite prepared to do that today, you know?
Back in Northern Ireland, Chris met Dr. Janet Gray, the inspiration behind his dessert.
Hi, Janet.
Hello, Chris.
When she was 21, Janet lost her sight due to a rare form of glaucoma. Not one to let her disability hold her back, Janet took up water skiing, going on to win the World Disabled Water Skiing Championship 4 times.
I had never tried water skiing until after sight loss. Being a natural swimmer, I really took to it. And I won the World Championships for the first time in 1999, then again 2001, 2003, and after a major trauma, I was lucky enough to get back on my feet and regain all the titles in Australia in 2007.
Amazing. It's a dangerous sport.
It can be, but I just love the whole speed and the rush.
I want your honest feedback.
Okay.
Okay?
In 2002, Janet was awarded an MBE for services to disabled sport. She's now retired from water skiing, but recently became a local councillor.
Do you kind of see yourself as an inspiration to other people?
It's nice if I can help others along the way or motivate and inspire. It's the determination and the discipline of sport as well at top level.
Yeah.
And not giving up and seeing things through.
Shall we go?
Yes, great.
As Janet inspired Chris's dessert, he wanted her to be one of the first to taste his dish.
So this is a white chocolate sphere, but inside we've got some ice cream, some raspberries. We've got a little fruit cluster around the outside with lemon verbena.
Oh, yummy, yummy, yummy.
Yeah.
Aha.
There we go.
Oh, lovely. Oh, my goodness. It's amazing how the flavours all come together.
Yeah, yeah.
And it really works. Oh, that is delicious.
Good. So you think it's thumbs up?
Oh, most definitely.
Definitely?
Definitely a winner.
Brilliant.
In the kitchen, Chris is painting moulds with white chocolate. He's already dyed red and blue.
Hello, Chris.
Hi, Michael.
What are you doing now?
This is one side of the sphere, so just coloured the white chocolate. So I'm just brushing with the red and the blue now.
Right,
And
okay.
then basically just the tempered chocolate.
And you confident it's going to work?
Yeah, I mean, the heat of this kitchen is obviously immense, but I'm happy with the tempering of the chocolate. I've checked it, so I'm just going to get them outside now.
OK, well, I won't stand anywhere.
Thanks a lot.
After the setback with his split parfait, Eddie is now working on his shortcake, which will form the top layer of his jam sandwich.
Got knocked back, losing that mousse, but what can I do? I can't go mad, I can't go frantic, I just need to try and get something out. I don't want to be standing up there with absolutely nothing, you know, so just going to keep at it.
He starts by mixing flour, baking powder and vegetable shortening with butter, before adding beaten egg and milk. Next, Eddie makes a Darjeeling stock for a foam and a gel.
Eddie, if you want to make me a cup of tea now, mate, that'd be perfect.
Current leader Mark is determined his dessert will meet the high standards he's set all week. He makes an English sparkling wine and honey jelly and soaks cubes of sponge in the blackberry pickling liquor before partially dehydrating. Next, he works on twirls designed to resemble Union flags.
This looks
Hi,
interesting.
Chef, how you doing? So this is for my twirl. So I've made a sugar mix
Yep.
of glucose and isomalt, and then I'm just colouring it.
And this is going to form the flag.
This will form the flag.
You're giving yourself a lot to do again, huh?
If I'm not busy, I don't feel I'm pushing myself hard enough.
I'm looking forward to seeing this.
Thank you very much. Let's go.
Chris is working on his savoury granola, baking oats, almonds and assorted seeds with butter, flour, salt and honey. He's also making a lemon curd, before checking on his tempered white chocolate spheres, which are next door where it's cooler.
It's a difficult task you set yourself.
Do you know what? It seems like a great idea at home at the time. Do you know what I mean? You sit at home and you make it and you think, do you know what, this is great.
No regrets, you can do this, huh?
Listen,
In it to win it. No pain, no gain.
Eddie's earlier disaster with the parfait lost him valuable time. His second one is still not set, and he's first to plate up his take on tea and a jam sandwich.
Eddie, can you be there on time?
I'll see you up there.
In a desperate attempt to get the dessert finished, Eddie decides to work in the blast chiller, adding strawberry gel and fresh strawberries to the parfait. First onto the plate, strawberry gel followed by fresh strawberries. Next, the not quite set white chocolate and white bread parfait. Now, Eddie has another panic. His shortcake hasn't had enough time to cool and solidify.
Thanks, Chef.
How's the shortbread, Eddie?
Yep, exactly the same as everything else. I can either not be on time and be standing here for another day, or get something up under the pass and let you taste it.
Instead of fine slices mimicking bread, Eddie chops up the still warm shortcake and crumbles onto the chilled parfait.
Eddie, can I do them for you, boss?
Yeah, do you want anything done, mate?
Chief, it is what it is.
Next, a quenelle of semi-set parfait.
Eddie, take a breath.
Yeah?
Relax, and make sure it comes to pass how you want it, yeah?
That's impossible.
Well, as best as it can, yeah?
Chef.
Eddie finishes the dish with Darjeeling tea foam. A hot Darjeeling tea infusion is presented in a vintage teapot.
Eddie, you look disappointed, but is everything on the plate that you want on the plate?
Everything's on, Chef. It's just not the way I wanted it.
What went wrong?
Lost the cream. It knocked me half an hour back already, do you know what I mean? So I'm ready, waiting on a parfait that's just sitting in the freezer. It's still dropping in front of us right now.
OK, but we won't leave it any longer, huh?
Absolutely.
Let's go and taste this.
Thank you.
It's a tough kitchen to work in.
It is, absolutely.
You know, it's in flavour, isn't it? So we can still taste this, huh?
Absolutely, Chef.
The flavours are beautiful.
Yeah.
They're rounded, the sharpness of the fruit.
This is the white bread
White
parfait.
bread and white chocolate, yeah.
Is that the taste you were looking for?
Pretty much, yeah.
It's a shame,
Yeah.
because it's such a beautiful flavour,
Yeah.
the bread's coming through. It just hasn't happened on the day.
And we've got the shortcake on the top.
Yeah. So again, not exactly how I wanted it. Just didn't have a chance to cut it out.
And the flavour in it, you're content with that?
I'm happy enough with the flavour.
Nice texture, it adds, you know, brings it all together, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that.
And it's a jam set how you want.
It's probably the one thing it is sitting at the right consistency there, Chef.
The strawberry gel is really nice as well.
Yeah.
Ultimately, do you think the tea works with the dessert?
Yeah, I've come to enjoy the tea.
I love tea.
I love tea. What would you give that?
Do you know, I'd give him a 7, and the reason I give him a 7 is because I think he's done a lot of work in it.
I have to go for a 6.
Okay.
What would you score it?
It's probably a 4, isn't it? Or maybe even below.
Mark is next to serve his complex time to reflect dessert. He finishes off his Union flag twirls in the oven before cooling on corrugated plastic to give the appearance of the flag fluttering.
Hi, boss. Hi,
Well,
Eddie.
boys, one of those in there. You warned me.
All the flavour was there, mate.
Absolutely, Chef. How are you getting on there anyway as well? You're up next.
Busy, mate.
Mark freezes fresh raspberries in liquid nitrogen before smashing into tiny fragments. He then turns out his jelly.
What's that jelly, Mark?
It's champagne and honey, mate.
Yeah, it's lovely, mate.
Mark will be presenting his dessert on a mirror to emphasise the title, Time to Reflect.
I tell you, when you're dressing the plate and you can actually see your own face, it's quite a scary look.
I wouldn't say they're that bad looking, Mark.
Oh, thanks very much.
First onto the mirror, cubes of partially dehydrated sponge soaked in blackberry pickling liquor. Next, strawberries compressed in English sparkling wine. Strawberry gel is followed by blueberry compote, pyramids of English sparkling wine and honey jelly, and pickled blackberries.
You do it the pass now, Mark.
Yes, chef. Less than a minute, please.
Chocolate and blackberry marquise is piped onto the mirror, accompanied by slices of blueberry, a quenelle of yogurt sorbet, and lastly, shattered nitro raspberries. The Union flag sugar twirl finishes the dish, which is presented in a gift box.
Is that done?
Done, chef.
And can I open it?
Yes, please.
It's nice, isn't it? It's a good touch.
Right. Should we go and eat this?
Yes, please.
So let's get tasty, you know? Enjoyed that.
Wow. I love the little tweel on top.
Nice wee crisp.
That's nice, isn't it?
So you're happy with how it's turned out?
I am, chef.
Yeah. Do you think the presentation's right for it?
I do, because it's a banquet. Let's break it, let's enjoy it, and if we get a little bit messy, sorry, but who cares?
Each berry has its own pack, its own punch on there.
Yeah.
The blueberries, it's the blueberry I keep going back to.
Yeah.
And the champagne and honey jelly, you feel those flavours come through?
Yeah, it's, you know, you get that champagne. You don't really get the honey so much because the honey's, it rounds it off.
That jelly is. It's almost like a summer cocktail.
You have got a lot of components on this dish.
Yes.
Do you think they all deserve a place on the plate?
I do, because every spoon is different and therefore it makes it exciting to eat.
No, it's maybe just a wee bit too small, but
Yeah.
I can't comment on it. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And anything you would change on it?
Well, yes. I would make sure my ice cream was firmer set.
Don't give him another 10, Eddie.
No,
You mean his head won't fit through that door, mate?
It's so hard to falter or be critical. It's
Yeah. I'm going to give him a 9 on because I want more, and maybe the sorbet was just a little bit under.
Last to fight for his place in the judging chamber is Chris, with his multi-sensory dessert, A Sense of Occasion, a tribute to Dr. Janet Gray, who lost her sight at just 21. Chris prepares his infusion by grating lemon zest and adding to a jug with fresh lavender and lemon verbena.
All right, lads.
How was that for you?
It was all right. I was a bit disappointed the ice cream melted really quickly, but...
Do you know what? I give you a 9, and that was my only quibble.
First into a bowl, Chris's granola, followed by lemon curd and raspberries. Next, micro lemon verbena shoots, then raspberry coulis. The bottom half of the white chocolate sphere is next into the bowl, filled with more coulis, fresh raspberry and lemon verbena. Next, a scoop of lavender ice cream topped with raspberry coulis and encased in the other half of the white chocolate sphere.
Chris, you all right, boss? In
Yeah,
your
all
hand?
good, mate. No, all good.
Chris presents his dessert on a bed of dry ice, topped with moss, to be activated at the pass with his hot floral and herbal infusion.
You all right, Chris?
Yeah, coming now.
Chris, dessert done?
Yes. It's the hardest course of the week, I think. We have a little message there. Great Britain is a brighter and more beautiful place because of people like you. And then I thank you.
That's lovely.
You know, there's the lavender, there's the lemon balm, there's the fragrance there.
Chefs, what's your thoughts?
Very impressive looking.
Thank
Should
you.
we go and eat one?
I think so, yeah.
So, I mean, first up, the smell, the fragrance. Is that something you're happy with?
I like it, chef.
What do you think, Eddie?
Chris has really went to town in this one, hasn't he?
Yeah, it really has. It certainly does tell a story.
I know you put a lot of work into that chocolate.
Yeah.
I think it's your honour to crack it.
Thank you, chef.
Yeah.
It's not perfectly tempered, is it?
Ultimately, no.
No.
With the ice cream, are you happy with the lavender content in that?
I think it can be overpowering sometimes. I was conscious not to put too much in it.
Whoa,
So what's the ice cream?
lavender.
Right now, all I can taste is lavender.
Yeah.
And then the granola, are you happy with that crunch?
I am. Maybe I could have cut them a little bit or broke them a little bit smaller so they're not quite as big clusters.
It's got great textures going on there with the granola.
I think the curds just got lost in the bottom here, though.
Do you think the amount of white chocolate on there affected, is it at all?
I'd probably put a little bit more lemon curd on that, just to kind of balance that out a little bit.
Down to the scores, Eddie. What would you give it?
I give him a 6, I think, with this.
Yeah, I agree with you. I would give him a 6.
Obviously, you had a big score in your main course. Do you think this lives up to it?
I would say there's room for improvement, definitely. I'd be happy with the 7 or 8.
Chef,
Oh, boys,
how was it?
it's the last dish, isn't it? There's no way back now.
Were you happy?
Not completely, no.
Today was proper stress. You warned us about that kitchen.
Yeah.
Hello, chefs.
Hello, chef.
So that's it, final course, all done. You must be relieved.
Just a little.
Eddie, your dish, jam sandwich and Darjeeling tea. Eddie, I know you weren't happy at all with this dessert. The shortbread cake, in your own words, was a disaster.
Yep.
The parfait, it wasn't frozen, and it wasn't smooth. The flavour of the Darjeeling tea didn't come through for me on the actual dessert. However, I did like the taste of the jam, and I also agree with you completely with the consistency of it. I also take my hat off to you for getting a dish to the pass, knowing it's not right, and knowing you're not happy with it. I think that's courageous.
Sure.
Chris, for your sense of occasion, it wasn't overpowering, that lavender. It was really pleasant. It was strong straight away. It filled the room. The lavender ice cream was tasty, and it wasn't overpowering. And the granola tasted nice. The lemon curd was delicious. It was lost. There wasn't enough of it. But the chocolate work, as pretty as it wasn't perfectly executed. I found myself looking for another texture within that sphere. Mark, and your time to reflect dessert. I thought you really, really hit the brief with that. I thought the reveal of the flag kind of blowing almost. I thought that was really clever. I love the chocolate marquise, and I particularly like that with the pickled blackberries and the yogurt sorbet. And the jelly, with a little bit of honey in it, was refreshing, not overly sweet. The partially dehydrated sponge was another inspired touch. All the components came together really well. However, I found it really difficult to eat off that mirror. I think the only thing that you fell back on was maybe not sitting down on that exact plate and eating it and seeing how that felt. If that dish was to go any further, if you could keep the mirrored element, possibly drop something in it so you could control the temperature for your ice creams and things like that. So on to the scores. With a score of 8, giving them the highest score across the week, it's Mark. So that means tomorrow you'll be cooking again. It also means you'll be going to the judging chamber with the highest score for regionals in Great British Menu. So congratulations on that.
Thank you very much.
It's an incredible achievement.
Thank you very much.
It's also a higher score than your boss. So you might need to find another job. 2 chefs are left. Chris, I'm giving you a 7.
Thank you.
And Eddie, for your dessert, I'm giving you a 4. So Chris, it means you go through at the judges' chamber tomorrow. Congratulations.
Fantastic.
And Eddie, I think you should be proud of yourself.
Yeah.
It's been an honour judging you guys. And Chris, Mark, make sure one of you gets a dish to the banquet for Northern Ireland there.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well done, mate.
Chief.
Well done. Well done.
Boys.
Did you enjoy the experience, Eddie?
Oh, what? It's been massive learning curve here too, and just to stand and watch, it's inspiring. I'd love to come back again. Well, this week's been so enjoyable, but you know, maybe if you could just not ring those guys next year, that'd be great.
That was brutal. You know, I pushed myself so hard this week. I'm just going to dig even deeper now and just try and get this over the winning line, you know? I know tomorrow's another day.
Things can change. The fact that I've actually got the highest score of all the regions over the years, I'm blown away. I can't let it go to my head. I need to keep focus and just come in tomorrow and just cook.